What's up, everyone? This is Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Scarlet, the Indigo Disc. Last time, we got a lot more prepared in trying to take on the rest of the Elite Four. And, as a little bonus, why is that Luminion just not... It looks like a regular Luminion. Yeah, it is. Okay, just seemed kind of weird. Anyway, we managed to get a lot of different bonuses to be able to help out in our future endeavors, including a lot more better battle-held items as well, which is something that I have been on a pretty big lookout for a while. So I'm honestly glad I was able to get that taken care of. Ah, Beartick! And we were able to confront and beat Lacey. In this episode, we are off to fight the last of the Elite Four, Drayton. I am thinking of trying to do the wild Terra Pokemon. I'm going to have to find one, so I might need to head over to the cave first. And big reason, even though I said I'd like to try to just go immediately, there is something that I did want to go over first that kind of slipped my mind when I was just doing the last episode, just because of all the prep work. Well, the Ninetales and Fridge Rotom. Okay. And that is Pokemon Day! Pokemon Day happened, technically yesterday as of recording this, which is the same time that I recorded the last episode, but again, just kind of slipped my mind. So, my thoughts on Pokemon Day. It honestly was pretty much oh, jeez. It was pretty much what I expected it to be, all honesty. A lot of the different updates for all the different mobile games. The new game that Pokemon Champions, I think it's called. I think that's the one new thing that we didn't know about. But honestly, not really too interested in it, if I'm being completely honest. Like, it is just a battle simulator that's nothing but battles, which, I don't know. I played through Battle Revolution. I didn't really much care for Battle Revolution. I figured that there would be a lot of interesting stuff that they would have, kind of like in Stadium. I mean, Stadium, you had all the mini games, you had all the different cups, you had Gym Leader Castle. You had a lot of interesting things that you could do, plus also all the rental Pokemon as well. And then you had Battle Revolution, which had none of that. You had a fixed team and was also stupidly easy. Like, Stadium is a hard game, especially if you do not have any save data from the Gen 1 games. But honestly, like, I played through Battle Revolution thinking it was the next game after, like, Colosseum and Gale of Darkness. Those expectations changed very quickly to, oh, it's like Pokemon Stadium. And then it just went to, this is Stadium, but not as fun. Like, battles are just super repetitive. Which, I don't know. Like, battles are fine, but there's gotta be other things in between, or other things to make it more interesting. And all the different cups in Battle Revolution, I don't know. They didn't do it for me. So just having just another sort of game that's just basically that, but, you know, up to Gen 9, like, yes, they show off all the different, like, oh, you got Mega Evolutions and Terrasilizations, and, like, that's neat and all, but honestly, I don't really care all that much. Like, I prefer the story aspect. This is why Scarlet and Violet, despite its shortcomings, is still one of my favorite Pokemon games in recent times. Because honestly, the story is just that good. And yes, I do have a challenge that I've set for myself, but having these sorts of challenges is also something I've desperately wanted for Pokemon in a while. And again, like, I'm having fun with the Indigo Disc because it is just straight up harder. Everything is a double battle, which is something that I really appreciate. That's how he recognizes us. Like, it's a lot more difficult. I've lost quite a few times and had to rethink my strategy based on these specific Pokemon that I've gotten. And even the extra Pokemon that I got, I ended up not really needing it. Let's get rid of this slacking. We really want to get rid of this slacking. So, like, I like a challenge, and I like there to be an interesting story. I like having... Oh, dear God. Yeah, we definitely want to get rid of that slacking ASAP. Oh, dear. Okay, it getting rid of its Truant ability is going to make this very, very frightening. It also has a life orb. That's cool. So, I don't know. Like, the Pokemon Champions game doesn't really appeal to me. Like, even... Like, I'm not sure if there would be any sort of, like, story mode, I guess. But, I don't know. There just doesn't really seem to be that much that I particularly care about. Not from what was shown at any rate. And then we have ZA, which ZA... Yeah, that trailer was about everything that I expected and nothing more. Like, we got the starters, which in of itself is interesting. Like, it's weird that we have 2 Gen 2 starters, but I think the main disappointment that I have is that Legends Arceus, all 3 starters were Pokemon that I really like, and those are basically my top choices for each of those generations. Gen 2, always picking Cyndaquil. Gen 5, always picking Oshawott. Gen 7, always picking Rowlet. So all of those were just Pokemon that I was going to pick anyway. So, not really a big problem, and that's what made it hard, was just the choices. But then you have Chikorita and Totodile, which I don't really care a whole lot for. Like, I've used Chikorita before. Oh, jeez. Right, I need to switch to a physical attacker for that. And then you have Tepig, and Tepig is Tepig. Like, I really do not care for Tepig at all. Like, I like Oshawott. I would have even taken it a chance to try Snivy if that was available. But, I don't know. I think I'm mostly leaning towards using Chikorita just because Chikorita really needs love. It needs a lot of love. It does not benefit from Gen 2 at all. So, I think it could use as much help as it can get. If it gets a Kalosian form, or just a Mega Evolution, it would help out a lot. But, I don't know. I don't really care much for Totodile, even though it seems like most of the internet does. Like, that's kind of the main Pokemon that people seem to like. I don't really care much for Tepig. Everything else was pretty much everything that I expected. The new battle system's interesting. It took me a bit to kind of really think about what it reminded me of. It honestly reminds me of Ni no Kuni. Like, the movement in terms of where you need to be versus where your Pokemon need to be. Attacks having certain ranges that you need to worry about. Like, it honestly, it feels like Ni no Kuni. How that battle system looks. Which is interesting. Like, I played Ni no Kuni, at least the first Ni no Kuni. Never finished it. Just kind of stopped playing it and never got around to actually finishing it. But, I mean, I liked what I played. So, it'll be interesting to kind of go back to that similar style of a battle system. So that's interesting. But other than that, like, yeah, everything else was exactly what I was expecting it to be. I was expecting just, we get the starters, we get a release date, which granted, we got a release window, not a release date, but, close enough, I guess. Bunch of new characters. It being modern day, or at least slightly in the future, is also interesting, which granted, like, we've only had one game in the series to kind of have any sort of precedent on. So, I guess that's not really too surprising that there would be a whole lot of changes, just because Legends doesn't really have a precedent set. It has one game. So, honestly, just trying to make it into something else, is fine. It's being experimental, and experimental is fine, because that's what it's trying to be. But yeah, other than that, like, no new forms, no new Mega Evolutions. Oh jeez, that Blitzy helped out a lot. Which, granted, like, I wasn't expecting it going into it, but it was one of those things that's like, okay, here's everything that I expected. We got everything that I fully expected, but hey, maybe they'll surprise us with something at the end. No, nothing. Nothing at all. No, like, hint of a new Zygarde form, or Mega Zygarde. No indication of any other additional forms or anything like that. Nah, it was pretty much just everything that we expected. Which, granted, isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, just meeting expectations is fine. At least it didn't, like, under-deliver. But, I don't know. It played it safe. It was everything that I expected and nothing more. Which is fine, but, can't help but feel like there could have been something a little bit more that... Oh, geez, another one? Can't help but feel like maybe there could have been something else to really kind of sunk our teeth into a lot more. Something that would be a lot more intriguing. Just that big wow factor. Like, just one new Mega Evolution. Or just even a hint of, like, a new Zygarde form. Like a Zygarde Overform or something like that. I'm not sure it would necessarily be that. It probably would just be a Mega Evolution. But still. Would have been interesting to have seen something else. But yeah, other than that, just... It was fine. Everything that I expected. It was fine. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I am still excited for ZA, don't get me wrong. It's just also one of those things where also seeing, like, people talking about it, and there are some things that are still a bit of a concern that it's like, do we really still need to go through this? And, like, one of the big things is just, again, lack of voice acting. It is now 2025. We should have voice acting as a standard at this point. Oh, I just realized this Meowstic has Prankster too. And I can almost take out that Magnezone anyway. So, I don't know. I really do feel like Pokemon is still really far behind. Like, honestly, graphics-wise is fine the way that it is. I feel like as long as... Dear God. These two just mimic these two. Honestly, I feel like something that could potentially work a lot better, I mean, is for Pokemon to really exceed expectations. Does it really need to? Not really, if you're just talking about pure profit, but I do feel like the games should try more. Scarlet and Violet could have been, like, the best Pokemon games ever if they spent a bit more time on it. Like, not just the optimization stuff. So the optimization stuff would have helped a lot, but I mean, voice acting, it really should have voice acting at this point. You have a ton of sign games that have voice acting. I mean, you've got Pokemon Masters, you had Pokken, you had new Pokemon Snap. Like, you've had so many Pokemon games that feature voice acting, but the main games don't. Like, I don't get why the main games can't have this very basic function that most games have at this point in time. And then you have all the stuff dealing with the overworld kind of being pretty empty, which that's a fair criticism as well. So just being able to have something to be able to really expand on, have something to really focus on, to wow people, to basically get them to really want to play these new games and really push how far Pokemon can really go. Instead of just doing the bare minimum just to sell more Pokemon cards and plushies. So, I don't know. I do feel like Pokemon can do a lot better. Like, not even from just from a difficulty standpoint, but also just from a game standpoint, just in general. Pokemon can do better. And yes, the Pokemon Presents met expectations, but Pokemon really should try to surpass those expectations. It really should. Anyway, those are my general thoughts. I'm just gonna go ahead and take down this Meowstic, and then we will just move straight to Drayton then. As much as I would want to try to find that random, Terra Pokemon if I can. Jeez, I didn't realize how many levels Ephraim had. Yeah, my Pokemon are getting a lot higher level than I was expecting. If I'm being real. Okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, you're the one that kind of deals with this for the polar biome. Okay, so that's... Do I already have 5 trainers beaten? Yes! Okay, good. So I get some BP. Do I also get something else? Breaking Swipe. What does that do? Okay, doesn't tell me. Do I already have that TM? Yes, I did, actually. It's a Dragon-type move. The user swings its rough tail wildly and attacks opposing Pokemon. It also lowers their attack. That's not really good for our Chaladon, but that would be a nice move to add to La Rochelle. I'm gonna get rid of Horn Drill. I don't really use Horn Drill. It is a big ol' risky move. I don't think there's really anything else. I can't use Alluring Voice on anyone, so that's a little bit of a shame. So before we really go, let me see if there's any other Ice, Dragon, or Fairy type moves that I can teach anyone. Okay, so I think I know what I want to try to teach my Pokemon. So first things first is teaching Cortez Dragon Claw. Pretty good base attack. I don't think I'm really going to be hit with any sort of status ailments, so we'll go ahead and get rid of Facade for that. Always relearn it if need be. The last 2 moves I want to teach are specifically on Adeline. The first is Toxic Spikes. I am going to want to experiment with trying to handle poison and seeing if maybe some setup moves might not be a bad play. So we'll go ahead, we'll get rid of Rain Dance for Toxic Spikes. And then if Adeline is still up after putting down 2 things there, we can go ahead and teach it, where is it? Ice Beam. That way I have a super effective move against whatever it is that Drayton has. I'll get rid of Water Pulse, just because I don't think I really need to Terastallize. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Where is he? He is over here. So we'll go ahead, set his destination. It is way over that way. Okay. And then wanted to just do an auto battle. Just to see if it was shiny or not. Not like that would really matter too much, but just catching it in general. Okay. So let's go ahead, now that we've done a little bit more prep work, let's see if we can't try to reach him. The other main thing I'm going to be on the lookout for is any terrestrialized Pokemon, which maybe there's one up here? I don't see a crystal. So yeah, that looks to be a Terra Pokemon. Catch one Fire-type Pokemon. I am not sure I'll really find one here. That is just a Duraludon. Now the quest was just to... No, it was just battle. Okay. Well, in that case... yeah, we'll send Ephraim out. Okay. Archaludon versus Duraludon, and it is a fighting type. Okay, that is interesting. Alright, well I don't really have anything super great, so let's just hit it with a Dragon Pulse. And that should knock it out of its Terra state. Super easy. I really don't need to catch it because I already have it in the Pokedex. So, not necessary in the slightest. Easy. Plus, that also gives me plenty of materials. And another level up for good measure. Okay, and Drayton should be down here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's just a seal. Thought that was a Glaceon next to me for a second there. I went, wait, what? Okay. Oh, okay. I was wondering, it's like, why the heck is there a Kingdra out here? Okay, well, let's go ahead. We'll heal up. Another case where doing this kind of late in the episode, but a lot of it was just kind of meandering. I don't think I need to do any other prep work. I guess the big thing is, who do I want to start with? Grimmsnarl, definitely. I guess I could put La Rochelle. You have Breaking Swipe just as a starter. No, Adeline. Adeline should also be up there. Just so that way I can set up the Poison Spikes. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll see. I mean, I'm expecting him to have an Archaludon at some point, but that should only be the only thing that should be immune to this. Welcome to the Polar Plaza. We're the team that supports Drayton of the Elite Four. And you're Destro, right? Okay, all of these guys have the exact same dialogue. So you know what? Stop giving him silly voices. Whoa, hold up. My friend here gets in free. Are you sure, Drayster? The rules say... Just charge it to my account. That ought to take care of it, yeah? That's not... Okay, understood. I'll make an exception. Many thanks, my man. There's my champ in the making. Thanks for coming. Let's hit the battle court real quick. Feast your eyes on the majesty of the Polar Plaza Battle Court. It's basically the exact same battle court as in the other plazas, just colder. I'm a cold weather kind of guy. Not what you'd expect from a dragon type user, right? Anyhow, buddy, you came to do my elite trial. Not listen to me ramble. So let's hop to it. I call my elite trial Terrarium only battles. Your goal is to clobber 3 of your fellow league clubbers in battle. Simple enough, right? But it's called Terrarium only for a reason. You can only use Pokemon that meet 2 conditions. Oh dear God. First, they gotta be Pokemon that were caught living wild in the terrarium. Oh cool! That's just this entire team! Second, you gotta be the one who caught them. Also just this entire team! Okay, we're fine. Unless your whole party of Pokemon meets those conditions, no elite trial for you. I know, I'm asking a lot, but what fun would it be if you just dipped into your vault of beefy Pokemon and cheesed your way through? Your opponents are under the same conditions, so you can't be too mad about it. What do you say, bud? Ready for my elite trial? Okay, cool. I was ready for this challenge and I never even knew it. It's not, actually. It really isn't, because we have Grimmsnarl, so, That's your cue, underlings. Come on out. We gotta swap off Grimmsnarl. Well, it's a good thing we got that Survivor! My trial's about skill, but it's chill. Take it at whatever pace you want. If you want to dive right into battling your 3 club mates, go nuts. Rather stroll around the terrarium catching Pokemon first? No problem. So go on, get out there and chill it up. Good luck. Everyone give it your best shot. Okay, so that is going to be a little bit of a problem. But I am super glad I have Leon. Otherwise, I would just be down a party member. So let's maybe go and update Leon then. Okay, so first things first, we should get Leon up to everyone else's level. 87, even if it's maybe a little bit lower, that'll be fine. I'm going to give it 3 candies. That only brought it up to 65. Oh dear God, we're gonna be here for a bit. 10. 77. Still gonna be here for a while. Another 7. 83, we're almost there. We'll switch to larges. 15. 87, there we go, perfect. Exact level I want to be at. Okay. So, Leon. Crunch, Glare, Swagger, and Sludge Bomb. I already changed its moves. The nature is fine, I guess. And I guess the problem is that I've got Crunch, which uses Attack. But I mean, I don't really have anything else. Let me see if there are any special moves I can teach Leon that would be a little bit more helpful. Alright, so I looked through it, and I think Dark Pulse is going to be the best move that I can teach it to replace Crunch with. Okay, so we got that. So at this point, I mean, I guess I can give it a few medicines to be able to help it out. Let's go with plenty of Carbos. And then some calcium. And I think... don't want to really invest too much into Leon, admittedly. I don't need it to be super big and imposing, but we can just go with that. And then for a held item... let's see, what do we have that's still in reserve? That would be somewhat helpful to it. Not really much of anything, so you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a Citrus Berry. When in doubt, Citrus Berry. Okay, so let's go ahead. We will put Leon in instead of Adeline. And you know what? We'll just go left to right. Some gray, brittle gray tones. Okay. Who gray? Alright, so, what do you start with? You start with Rampardos and Bastiodon. Okay. Going to be a little bit of an issue. But these guys are only level 68. Okay, well, this will be easy. Go ahead and I'm just going to use Ice Beam on Rampardos. And Sludge Bomb on... Well, that might be a problem in case it hits the Bastiodon. You know what? I'm gonna use Glare on Bastiodon. And Leon's faster! I mean, shouldn't be surprised that it's faster than Adeline, but faster than the other two is interesting. Okay, so hit it with an Ice Beam. That almost took it out. Okay. Let's go ahead. We'll use Psychic on Bastiodon. And I'll just hit the Rampardos with a Dark Pulse. Okay, and that almost just took out Leon. And I think it just took out itself. Okay. And there's the Citrus Berry. Don't think that's going to be too helpful, but you know what? It's there. And yeah, not really super great. Dark Pulse also helps out. And it's fully paralyzed! Hey! Easy peasy. Alright, well that wasn't too bad. Honestly, that low of a level for the final Elite Four member is interesting. Although, if you just brought over your main team from Paldea, then you would probably be in a bit more of a bind. Alright, so that's the first one. Let's go ahead, give it another Citrus Berry, because I have a crap ton of these. And this is probably going to be the only time that I'm going to be able to use Leon in any capacity. Let's go ahead, we will Max Potion Leon, and then give Adeline a soda. Alright, we'll do you next. Okay, so first one just did fossils. What do you have? You have Dugong and Sandslash. Okay, actually fits the biome at least. Also level 68. Also her only two Pokemon. Okay, we'll go ahead. We will use Psychic on Dugong. And Sludge Bomb on Dugong. Okay, Aqua Tail. Hurts a little bit. And Icicle Crash. Okay. There's a Citrus Berry. So that should help out a bit. And that should take out Dugong. Okay, cool. So now we just have to deal with the Sandslash, which is a little bit of a problem. Ice Steel. So let's go ahead. You know what? We'll use Psychic on it. And Leon, I'm gonna switch out for Cortez. Because it's quad weak to fire. Now granted, the level difference is massive, so it's probably not going to matter too much. And it missed! Still, pretty... wow. A Psychic almost took it out immediately. Again, massive level difference. So yeah, these guys, they're not going to get any more challenging or difficult, so shouldn't be too big of a deal, admittedly. The interesting thing is that these trainers don't heal me, unlike Crispin's. Crispin's trainers always healed me. Then again, there wasn't really an option to heal up your own Pokemon. So that might have been the reason why. Alright, that just leaves the third guy. Oh boy, more people talking about Iono. Okay, so he has electric Pokemon. So first guy had fossils, the girl had ice types, and this guy's apparently having electric types. What kind of electric types? You have Zebstrika and Magnezone. Okay, that Magnezone might be a little bit of a problem. Also his only 2 Pokemon. They really couldn't get any additional Pokemon for this. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll use Psychic on Zebstrika in case this doesn't take it out. And Sludge Bomb on it. Ah, cool! One shot. And then Screech. A little bit of an issue. Shouldn't be overly so. Okay, might be a little bit of an issue. Alright, we'll go ahead. We'll use Psychic on Magnezone and Dark Pulse on it. Alright. And it flinched. Awesome. Okay, well, that was surprisingly really freaking easy. Crispin was the only one that really had any sort of challenge to it at all. And was mostly like, do you know food stuff? And that's pretty much it. So that makes, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Nice, you went and beat all 3 of them. Which means this elite trial is elite complete. Alright, my elite club assistants, retreat on the double. Bye, see ya. Aren't they great? No grumbling or nothing. Bunch of sweethearts. Looks like it's finally time for you and me to battle. Guess you're still using the party you put together for my challenge, though, huh? Go ahead, take a set to change it up. Unless you want to dive right into the battle. No, I very much like to have my defensive wall up. Got it. No rush on my end. Alright, well, that was nice that we actually managed to use Leon for something. Okay. It is very late, and we have at least gotten through the trial. But, honestly, first off, should I go and heal? No, I don't need to heal. Okay, cool. So we can't just jump straight into it. It was just needing to change up the party composition. It's late, but honestly, I'd like to give it a go. I want to see how tough this is gonna be. So let's do it. Alright, it's on. Here should be good. You know, I was thinking about the look you get when you're in battle. And I realize I've only ever seen you like that from the sidelines. Guess now I know what it's like to face you from across the court. Let me be real. I'm counting on you to conquer the whole BB League, bud. Expecting him to say pal there for a second. I mean it. I need you to pull this off. You gotta come through for me. That said, I'm not just gonna roll over and miss out on the fun. So watch out. But no need for us to get all official or anything. Just battle me normally like you would anybody else, Destro. Here's the 100% Drayster's truth. I'm so psyched, I'm practically tingling. So why don't we get this rolling, nice and easy. Let's go, bud. Show me a good time. Alright, Drayton. He starts off with a Flygon and a Dragonite. Oh dear god, this poison strategy might backfire on me horribly. Don't let me down, bud! No one wants to see me ugly cry. Oh dear god. Okay, well, rather than trying to set up the toxic spikes, I think I am much better off trying to get rid of these dragons. I'm gonna go ahead and put up a light screen. That Flygon might try to use a physical move, but I think Dragonite might try. Oh dear God. Okay, that sucked a lot. And it has a Life Orb. Ice Spinner. Against Grimmsnarl. Okay, those are both physical attacks. And it has a berry to lessen the power of Ice-type moves. Jesus, that barely did anything! Whoa! Not a lot of types can make me eat a super effective hit, and yet you had a berry to prevent it. Okay, let's go ahead. Ice Beam, the Dragonite, and Reflect. Oh, cool! That's great. Okay, wow. Already starting off really badly. Okay, Drayton is not messing around. Flygon has the Earthquake. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and... I didn't really have anyone else have Ice-type attacks, because I honestly wasn't expecting a whole lot from that. Let's go ahead and bring out... Cortez might be a bit risky with these two, so let's go ahead and bring out... Let's bring out Zangetsu. Zangetsu's not going to really be too good or bad here. Alright, so let's go ahead. We will use Spirit Shackle on Dragonite. And then I'm just going to go with a Spirit Break on Dragonite. God, he's just using that extreme speed. And they're both faster! At the very least, the Flygon is faster. Grimmsnarl's alive. Okay. We can take down that Dragonite. That Dragonite is bulky. I was really hoping for that Ice Beam to really work. Okay, but down it goes. Oh boy. Okay. Next up is Haxorus. Haxorus, I think, is just pure dragon. Let's go ahead. Let's use... Honestly, Feather Dance on Flygon. I'm gonna see if maybe I can just make it into a non-issue. And then let's try a Thunder Wave on Haxorus. Because it's gonna use another Earthquake, probably. So I'm most likely losing Grimmsnarl. No, he uses a Fire Punch! And now I'm burned! Okay, well, I mostly just used a setup move to see if I can't try to do something about this Flygon. Ooh, interesting. Okay, unfortunately, Zangetsu is now hurt really bad. Okay, you know what? Keep with the setup. Let's see if maybe I can't try to... See if I can't try to do something. Well, there it is. Okay, well, down goes Grimmsnarl. So that sucks. I mean, thankfully, the Flygon is also just taking itself out. The Feather Dance is, again, just making it into a non-issue. Dear God, this might work out beautifully, actually. Yeah, that's not gonna last. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll send out Cortez. Now, out of curiosity's sake, between Zangetsu and Cortez, who is faster? Zangetsu, by a mile. And it's still not faster than the Flygon, so it's probably gonna go down. Well, that's fine. If it somehow lives, I'm going to try a Feather Dance again. See if I can make it a -6. And then Dragon Claw on Haxorus. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That's fine. It's fine. The Flygon's still at -4 attack. So honestly, if I can keep it in for as long as possible... Ugh, that's not good. If I can keep it in for as long as possible, I think we'll be fine. Let's switch in... Yeah, let's switch in Ephraim, because even though -4, I still would like to not worry about that. Okay, let's go ahead. We will use Aura Sphere on Haxorus. Actually, hold on. Who is faster? Alright, well, I may as well just take down the Flygon. Let's go ahead. We'll use... Here. Dragon Pulse on Flygon. Dragon Claw on Haxorus. Come on! Okay, that's not bad for Ephraim, but seriously? In fact, that's actually great for Ephraim because of stamina. Okay, it lowering my attack is going to be a major issue. If I can't hit anything else, then that's going to be a problem. Okay, but at least down goes 2 more of his Pokemon. And I at least get the Moxie to counteract the Flygon's swipe. And a little bit more healing on Ephraim. Now it's back to full. Alright, next is Sceptile. Interesting. There's no Mega Evolutions in this. And Kingdra. Okay, the Kingdra is going to be a little bit of an issue. Let's try a Dragon Pulse on Kingdra and a Dragon Claw on Kingdra. Dragon Shear. Ooh, that's not good. That increases crit chance. Oh no. Oh no, we need to get rid of that Kingdra. And I'm glad I prioritized it. One shot. Very good. Okay. Not the greatest. And there goes my light screen. And there's our Chaladon, which I knew he would have. And that's also his last Pokemon. Also, yeah, all their Pokemon are about the same level. So, yeah, the level gap just keeps getting bigger. Okay. I'm not going to worry that much about Sceptile, so let's focus on our Chaladon. Now watch this dragon's blood boil! Take control, our Chaladon! Okay. Admittedly, I probably could have also just terastallized. Leaf Storm. Okay. But down goes its special attack. Maybe. Ooh, if I go first. Oh, he also has stamina. Ready to get blasted to smithereens? I won't leave you anywhere to run. And there's Electro. Show no. It fires immediately in the rain. And down goes Cortez. Cool. And there goes my Reflect, too. Alright, well, now I'm down to just La Rochelle. Okay. So, this is bad. Let's go ahead. We will use Dragon Pulse on our Chaladon. And I am going to Terastallize and use Mega Horn on Sceptile. At least then, my quad weakness to grass is then mitigated to just be a normal weakness. Plus, if he tries using that attack again, I still have Lightning Rod. So that'll stop him right in his tracks. Okay, that worked out well. It was definitely worth terastallizing over. Because if he high rolled, that might have just taken out La Rochelle right then and there. Okay, but all he's got left is Sceptile. We just use Mega Horn. And down he goes! And the crits! Whoa, that was beautiful. Seems like luck itself is a soft spot for you. Okay, well, that was frightening there for quite the entire time. Thank God for level difference. That's what I'm talking about. Man, that was ridiculous! So much fun! I knew inviting you to join the League Club was the right move. And I guess if you can beat me, we better make you a full member finally. What do you say? Ready to be the real deal? You bet. Bless you and your generous heart. Come on, let's get a photo of you for the club roster. Me and my best bud, Drayton. Lacey probably would have wanted a more serious photo. She might not be thrilled, but oh well. I feel like there was one more thing I'm supposed to do. Oh, yeah, we gotta give this TM to whoever can beat us Elite Four members. I gotta go grab that. Wait here a sec. Sorry for the holdup. I'm back. That's the BB Elite Four, all beaten. We schooled every elite one of us. Here's your reward, like I said. Dragon Cheer. Which, from my understanding, applies heightened crit chance to the target. User rallies its allies' morale with a draconic cry so that their future attacks have a heightened chance of landing crits. This rouses dragon types more. Oh dear God, this... So it has a base effect for every Pokemon and an even heightened chance to crit for dragon type Pokemon. Oh dear God, that is very interesting. Guess I should have cleaned it, but what's a little dust between friends? Man, it's like I blinked and you plowed through the whole BB League. You know what's next for you, right, bud? You're good enough to beat all Elite Four of us. So you, and only you, have the right to challenge the sitting BB League champion, Kieran. You really kept me waiting. Took you a while to beat the Elite Four. Kind of slow for you, isn't it? Nice, Kieran. You've really got Destro on the brain, huh? I could say the same thing about you, Drayton. You sure are putting a lot of effort into helping Destro out. Who wouldn't want to help out a new student? Gotta be good to our fellow humans. That's rich coming from you. Whatever you're planning, it's about to come to an end. Destro. Let's settle who's the strongest between us two. Once and for all. It's finally time. Pumped for you. We'll have to go sign you up at the front desk, get your championship match going. No sense waiting around, let's go! Do we just teleport over there, or... Okay, no, that is just our next goal. Good, I need a heal. I also want to see, can any of my Pokemon besides Ephraim learn this? Dragon Cheer. Nope. Cool, great. A move that heightens morale, especially for dragon types. And only my one dragon type can learn that. That's neat. Okay, but with that, we are good to call it a day here. So, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Scarlet, the Indigo Disc. Now is the time that we can take on Kieran. So there's going to be some last minute prep work. Maybe a few other challenges to kind of go through. And maybe a few level ups as well to kind of even everything out. I think probably having everyone up to level 90 would be a pretty good place to be. Kieran's obviously going to be tougher than everyone else, but if everyone was just only at level 80, I'm hoping Kieran won't be that much tougher. Like, I'm kind of expecting him to be around level 85-ish in that case. Which, hey, I mean, if I can at the very least have a level, come on. If I can have a little bit of a level advantage on him, that'll help out a little bit. But it might not be a bad idea for me to go back and buy some more medicines, just to make sure that all of my Pokemon are really capped out in the stats that they should be good at. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do just that. I've got plenty of money to be able to boost up my Pokemon stats just a bit. Oh, what did I land it on? Oh, here. So, we'll see. I think probably just doing a last little bit of prep work would be in order, because Kieran sure as hell not gonna hold back. So until next time, everyone, take care.